Hey guys, Zebrawr here, and we've got a nice exciting game of Modern Warfare 2. So this video is a sort of follow-on of my how to get a nuke on Afghan video. So I'm going to be commentating a lot on my actions and sort of how they represent what I was saying in the previous video. So hopefully you can see, you know, these tips I gave you are exactly what I do and how I play. So immediately on Afghan, I come straight to this position if we spawn at A and look down towards B through the bunker, laying down in prone. For some reason, people just don't seem to expect you to be here. There was a bad positioning of my claymore there. That's not exactly what I was talking about in the previous video, but it gets me a kill, so it still works. I got quite lucky. So yeah, you know, you see what I did there? I said swap it out as soon as you can your secondary weapon with a primary weapon. So as much as I love the spaz, that got swapped straight out for a ACR, because the ACR will just win over the spaz all the time. You know, it's come in handy right there. That guy was a bit too fast paced to go straight in with the scope and try and snipe, because I don't have quick scoping going. And then these guys just all spawning down there, and I'm getting some really nice snipes on them. But you know, I get tagged, and like I said, if you get hit, just run away. There's no point standing on the same spot. So if they've tagged you, you know, chances are their gun hasn't recoiled much. They can just hold down the trigger, and you're going to get pummeled in the face with about a gazillion bullets, and you're going to go down. So if you see the screen go red, move it. Although I know there's a lot of issues with lag where you try and run away, and you still get shot around the corner. You know, that winds me up big style to no end. But you know, it's worth taking the risk of running away, especially when you can't see them, and you know, regrouping, and if you've got teammates around, letting them kill them. So in a second, I will be doing, you know, I'll be doing exactly what I said, where I'm keeping an eye on what my teammates are doing. So at the moment, you know, you can see one of them's going down towards A, so it might be safe to go in the bunker, although these days, this must be quite an old video, these days I don't generally go into the bunker to snipe, but I can see on the UAV they were coming down from A, and they weren't on A, and they weren't on C, so I can maybe get some of the trickles as they run down. It's exactly what I do, although Spenceley steals my kill there in last stands. I'm pretty sure they're not coming up from B, although I don't have a claymore set up to warn me if they are. I can hear if they sort of run through that we're going to lose B, they might be coming behind us. We've got all the points, so like I said before, you'd always want to leave them 1 point at least, so you know where they're spawning. Because so often, like on high rise, if you're standing camping at C and your teammates go and capture B and A, chances are you're going to get spawned on. They're going to start spawning on you, and you're going to get outnumbered. You'll be standing there, looking down your scope out the whole of the map, and suddenly 10 people will be behind you, and you're like, what? I'm being a bit risky here again. I don't like staying in the same position, so I killed a few people coming down on A, and it's a good idea just to move, just so if they come back, expect you to be there, you're not there, they'll forget that you were ever there, and you can go back another time and get some kills off of it. Just because, if you know, so often I'll try and camp up super amounts, and I'll be sitting on the same spot, and I think, I'll just sit here, I'll be safe. You kill a couple of people, and then they'll just go on a massive revenge mission. They'll know where you are, they'll watch the kill cam, and they'll just hone straight in on you. So like I said in the other video, you know, looking at all these different points, you're not just looking, although on the screen I'm maybe looking down the tunnel towards C, my eyes are all over the whole screen, so I'm looking at the top of C, I'm looking in the plane, you know, I'm looking down the tunnel, I'm looking at the map, making sure that there's no people shooting guns behind me, or at B or on A. So I call in my Harriers there, I believe it was, yeah. And if you're calling your Harriers, you might as well get into a safe place. There's no point running around while they're in the X. If they can get you to 11 kills, you might as well let them. If you know, like I said, this is a nice spot. They run down through that bunker, and for some reason they just don't. Well, you're very well hidden behind all the rocks, and because they're running in a straight line to get through the bunker, they're not zigzagging. You get some nice, easy shots off on them. You just drop them in one shot with a sniper rifle. Hopefully, you'll have your claymore set up in the position I pointed out. You know, just pointing in from the door. That door you can see that archway there where LF for life J, LFC for life J just went through, or Y just went through. So you can see what I'm doing there. You know, I took a peek out on C, and when I didn't see anyone, I ran away just in case they were being really hidey and sniping down into C. Standing just out of sight of the windows here on my right, so that if they're on top of C, they can't see me, and looking down on A, so if they run through, I can see them and get the drop on them. Moving closer so I can sort of get a better position, because I know they're not running up from A. I just need to be careful behind me now, and sort of in front, but I've got the teammates in front of me, so I should be good. So you can see on the UAV now, they're coming down towards A quite clearly. There's about 3 of them down here now. I pick off one. I think there's a few more. Yeah, they just stole A, so you can see them run off now. I'm not zoomed in because you want to see all these sort of, you know, you've got the still landscape. You see a tiny bit of movement. That's the enemy. That's going to stand out a mile away. Like, he popped his head up. If I was zoomed in, I'm looking at a very small area. You zoom out, you see the head come up, just zoom straight in on it and take them out, because, you know, you're looking at the area, you're static, you see the movement. If they're popping their heads out, they're looking for movement as well. If you're standing still, it's a lot harder for them to pick you out. So you get a bit of a drop on them for the zooming in. Going into the AC-130 now, go into a safe position. A lot of the time you'll find you'll get shot trying to run into a safe position. It happens to me all the time, but, you know, you'd rather get into a safe position and be able to protect yourself with your AC or your chopper, than get into it in the middle of nowhere and someone just stumble on you by accident. Although the position I went to isn't that good. I do die a lot when they're running down from C towards B. They do seem to see you quite easily, so I would advise finding a better position. I like to go onto A, go right through A. There's loads of shrubbery where people don't ever go, or really if they spawn there, they just sort of spawn just in front of you and run over you because they don't see you. But it's a lot more risky getting to their A spawn, because if they're coming down from C or through, you know, through the tunnels coming towards A, it's risky to get there. I usually scream for help from my teammates, like, protect me running through A. So I didn't get the nuke through the AC, which is always a bugger. And again, you know, just using the map and that I can tell they're going to be coming onto A because you had the UAV up, so I knew they were coming down that way. They weren't coming up from B, and you can hear if they're coming behind you. I haven't really had any Claymore set up because I haven't had any really close quarters to replenish my scavengers, but hopefully from the previous video you get the idea of how I place my Claymores and what to do when, you know, to replenish them. It's been quite a lucky game here that we've had a lot of UAVs. I can tell they're spawning at the back of C a lot of the game, so I can tell they're running down onto A. I don't normally like to camp in this bunker a lot, but that guy, the UAV, saved me there. Thankfully he doesn't come running in looking at me. He seems to be going for the air support, so he runs in with his back at me, and I got to swap my ACR and take him out. But, you know, just being aware, like I say, of your UAV and of your teammates. So there's a guy coming out the back of that plane there that I sniped for the 25th kill, but he was going to be distracted with my teammate, I thought, so I could stand in the window and take the chance of sniping him, because I've been looking at the top of C the whole time and there wasn't really anyone there, although, you know, Liverpool Foot Club with Live J was up there. I could imagine they were not going to get up there and snipe me. If that makes any sense, I have no idea. I was just commentating on my thoughts throughout that whole game and sort of where I was looking and what I was doing. Keep an eye on, you know, where your teammates are. Right at the beginning of the game, my Claymore went off and I noticed all my teammates were looking down towards C, so I had to look behind me and pick off anyone else who might be coming through. So just keep an eye on where your teammates are looking, because it's no good if they're